Can you do the Vulcan hand salute?
Oh, come on. There you go.
Like this? Yeah. Scotty and the Kinzer and the Vulcans.
Yes, I can do it.
I do. That's the question of the night. I can do the Vulcan hand salute.
You came out to defend this movie. This movie did extremely well, and it was well received, but there was a faction that was not entirely pleased and voted it last in their particular poll. And you came out and defended it. Do you think you needed to defend this?
Yeah, because well, if you're doing an interview and someone says, "Oh, that," you're bound to react emotionally. We work really hard on this. I care about it. My friends are in it. When somebody, just goes up, you just want to say what I said. Actually, it was as much to the journalists because I felt like it was a bit like, well, what are you telling me this for? I thought it was a divisive move just to spring that on me, and it kind of pissed me off, to be honest. So yeah, I'm a human being. So if you don't like what I say, sorry, but there we go.
So Endeavour and Star Trek, when you think of the two, what comes to mind?
Space, obviously. They've got that in common. Of course, there was a shuttle called Enterprise as well, as we all know. I think it was the first one, wasn't it? Yeah, this is a wonderful sort of place to have this event, considering this is, where we could potentially begin to do what we eventually see in Star Trek. We haven't got that far up into space yet, and Star Trek is an endless sort of potential for exploring what we might do and what could happen if we went up there, which is, I think, why the story endures.
I guess I feel humbled because what we're doing is making a movie that's a lot of, sort of fun and science fiction, sort of fantasy, and then you come to this place and you realize, oh my God, of course it's real, and you just can't believe the truth of it and the fact of it, and it just really is a humbling experience.
Well, Endeavour, my mind goes to thesaurus, and I try and think of other words for endeavour, like begin or undertake. I actually don't quite know what to expect when I go in there. I know that it's a big attraction for children, so I do hope to be humbled by what I see.
Well, I feel not just honored, wow, it's a ship and there's space people in it and so forth, but I feel moved because it brings up all of the experiences I had growing up around aircraft with my family.
It's just an interesting symbiotic relationship because Roddenberry was watching, it was basing a lot of his stuff on actual developments, and so that relationship is really interesting. It seems really fitting that we'd be here under the wings of an actual spaceship.
It's very appropriate that we're here under the Endeavour because when Gene Roddenberry envisioned Star Trek, he envisioned a future where man had this curiosity to explore the unknown in a very peaceful way, and that's the embodiment of the Endeavour. It was a peaceful mission. It was to gain education and access, satisfy our curiosity. So I think it's very fitting that we're sharing this premiere with this great accomplishment of NASA.
Technology and the advancement for good. I think that's something that Star Trek is a very idealistic show and very kind of humanist. So I think that there's something peaceful about that. We live in a time where a lot of technology is used for war and that kind of thing, and this represents something else.
You can only hope that what we have now in our space program, what we have left of our space program, actually does someday grow into something like what Star Trek is. That's what I hope.
Now, when you think of Star Trek and you think of your childhood, what is your favorite memory? I mean, what's that ice cream memory of Star Trek for you? That cornetto memory?
Yeah, probably. I was watching I used to watch it when I was on holiday. I remember it used to be on BBC Two at 6 o'clock. I was watching the episode The Corbomite Maneuver, which had Clint Howard in, and that's this terrifying alien called Baylock who scared me as a kid, and I used to be always worried that he'd be on the closing credits because they flashed up pictures from the other episodes, and sometimes he'd come up and it would frighten me. But it was a kind of good fear. It was the kind of fear that, inspires you.
I watched it, I guess, with one degree of separation because I was watching it with my grandfather. I watched it through him. I know he enjoyed it. But when I got involved, I did watch the series and I loved it, yeah.
There were really no Asian guys on television, and I just remember seeing George and we used to come in from the other room and say, there's an Asian guy on television. It was remarkable, and it's still like an emotional memory for me.
I grew up liking Star Trek, I really like the mystery and the mystique of Star Trek rather than the alien deal. I wasn't so interested in Klingons and so on as I was the metaphysical aspects of it, because I've always been interested in that.
Watching Star Trek: The Next Generation as a kid was probably one of my favorite memories. Just coming home after school and checking it out, and just the imagination of the show, the different characters and aliens.
Christmas mornings and getting like whatever the new action figures were. You know, I had all those Mego action figures, those and the Enterprise play set, where you spin the thing. I had all that. I still do, actually.
Keep on trekking or keep on twerking?
Twerking? And I'm going to go with the trekking.
Keep on trekking.
Oh, trekking. Naturally.
Oh, trekking. Twerking. Star twerk? I don't think so.
Well, I'll leave that to you to decide, but I would argue to keep trekking, because twerking can get you in trouble, as we all know.
Stop twerking. Stop. Just stop.
This has been a public service announcement from John Cho. Thank you very much.
You know.